Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll, and tonight I come to you with this wonderful doll head. Isn't she gorgeous? Now, what have I done to her at this time? Well, I've been letting her composition relax, and how do I do that? I use a little bit of linseed oil, not a little, I use quite a bit of linseed oil, and just let the composition suck it up. And it's been just having a good slurp here, and just taking in the moisture, just letting this composition relax. And she's done really well. Now, one thing about linseed oil, because I paint with oil, the oil paint loves linseed oil, because why? Linseed oil is in oil paint. So they go together. They love each other. There's a love attraction there. So if you have a composition doll and you see it in distress like this, sometimes it's better just for 48 hours, just putting the linseed oil and just let it sit for 48 hours. And just let it, or even 24 hours. Let it dry nice. It's nice and dry now. And so she's ready for her next steps. Before I go any further though, I just want to show you, she has two little teeth right down here. Those are her two little toothies there that I didn't see until I would start looking, like, what are those bumps in there? And they're two little teeth. So we'll I get to paint some teeth in her mouth. I have never done that before, so that's going to be exciting. So we're going to get out our materials. How am I going to look after her and deal with her? Because she's so honeycomby. Well, I'm gonna spackle her. I think that's what she needs. I don't think I want to millie putter. I think that's going to take away from her. Millie Put is nice. It has its place. Even up here, I think I can spackle this and just do better by her by spackling. I don't think it's necessary to... now, in here, I would like to millie put. I'm going to take my Dremel and go along here. And I don't know, this seems to be pretty good. A good fix on her. I might just bring some millie put just around here to round this shoulder up a little bit more to give that loop. You know how the shoulder goes around in loops? So I might make up some millie put for there. And we're going to make up some millie put for here and fill this all in here and get that look after. This I'm going to take, and I know that's got some depth, but even the spackling can fill that in. I'm moving more and more away from millie put and moving more towards spackling because it does a better job in places. I really like what spackling can do for dolls now. Even though it's all uneven in here, I'm just going to spackle her whole face right across into her eyes. I'll have to sand a lot of stuff out. I'm going to have to really do some work on her. Yep, it's going to be a lot of work, this doll here. All in here. I'll do her head. I don't have to get too particular about her head, especially in the back part, because she's going to be wigged. But I will make sure it looks at least decent before I wig her. So let's get started. I have to buy myself a new thing of spackling, but the spackling I do have, I got enough here to get started. So we'll get going on this. It's still got some pink left into it, so let's get going on that. And I think my biggest thing here is just right up in here, just filling this in right here. Now, it might take one or two fillings, you know, to get her filled in. It won't be something right away that will fill in. Like, it'll take a few times to fill it in. I might buy myself a larger one of these because I am going to be using a lot more spackling in this area here. But I think she's going to do just fine. And it's just going to take a lot of sanding and a lot of work. So we're just going to start now and just start filling this all in here. And like I say, what you do today, you got to sand this so you can understand where you're at. Now I can still see there's a dent there, so I'm going to put more in there. But you want that to dry. You know, so you don't want to fill it in too much. You can do it layer by layer by layer. So we're just going to keep layering this on. Let it fill it in. Sand. We're going to sand it and do it again, do it again, do it again. It's just going to be repetitive. Some of it I'm going to do on camera. A lot of it I'm not going to put on camera. Okay? Because it's just going to be a lot of camera work at the same time. But I'll show most of it. The biggest percentage of it will be on camera here. But you know what? This is going to work out just wonderful. Just sand this, and like I said, I'm going to have to fill this more than just once. It's going to be about, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to do this about 4 or 5 times of filling her in. Yeah. So just going to keep going at her. I'm going to go get myself some more spackling. Like I say, it's a lot. This can be a lot of work. A doll that's just badly damaged, but you know what? I'm learning more about how to fix these dolls without using millie put. Millie put is great. It is a great tool to have. But it doesn't have to be used all over a doll anymore, especially when I discovered what spackling can do. And letting it sit for 2-3 days and let it really firm up nice. There we go. This doll is so rough. I can scrape it right off my fingers so easily now. Too bad she wasn't marked on the back. Well, she's got markings on her body, but this is by her ear level over here. We're going to go right on her ear because it's just like honeycomb. Everything's like just so done by. This is water damage for the dampness of her here. There we go. Yeah, what are you doing, Mabel? I know we got this, oh, I can hear Porky out there. Porky went to the vet today. He's got a bump on his head. And we thought it was something like, that had to be drained. But we found out it's a tumor on his head. And it's not good. It's big. And they think it's growing to the size right now it's going to be. He also has a really severe heart murmur. He has about all his teeth need to come out. Porky is a stray that came to us. And I found his people, but his people didn't want him anymore when we got him. So he was about 9 years old when we got him. They told me he was about 9 years old at the time. And they didn't want him back. They had replaced him. They said they can't keep him indoors. He's too feral. He was a feral cat to begin with. And all he did was fight with their animals. And so he got out of the house and they didn't bother to, you know, they did try to look for him, but they said they weren't wanting him back. So we got Porky. Porky landed on our doorstep. And there's a story how we got him, but not tonight. But anyways, what we did find out, that landed right on my sandal. Here we go. But anyways, the vet told us he has a very severe, it's bad, they said. His heart murmur is really bad. That's why he's been coughing outside my door. I've been saying every now and again you hear him coughing. I thought it was asthma. No, it's a real bad heart murmur. But the tumor on him is really bad also. His prognosis is not good for a longer life. We brought him home today. I asked him if he should be put down today. They did not feel that was something we had to do today, that he could live a little bit longer. So, you know, I think we just put off the inevitable that's going to come. But at this time, we're just going to, you know, love him up the way we do, and we'll have a nice summer with him. We're going to keep our eyes on the tumor and just see where it takes us at this time. But I don't know where the winter will be for him. If we might have to put him down this before winter sets in, because you can't keep. He just about killed him to be with us in the cage. He just wasn't going to have it much longer. We had to get him home. So that being said, we learned a lot about him today, and it was sad. You know. But it is what it is, you know. I can only commit so far with him, because it's not always about the money either, but what's fair to him. So I can only do so much that's going to help him out, and be kind as much as I can to him. and do what's the best for pork. And that's just how it goes, you know. I wish I could fix that heart murmur. To remove his teeth, they said some doctors will still do it regardless of the bad heart murmur. It's not his age that will get in the way, it's how bad the heart murmur is. They said they had 17-year-olds with heart murmurs that were bad, but they still pulled their teeth out. But they said his was exceptionally not the best. Like, it was bad, really bad. So right now, he's going to live his summer with us. We'll make a decision in the fall. Or if the tumor gets any larger than what it is. I might take the camera out tomorrow and take a video of him and what he looks like. And show you his little tumor on his head. I thought he was trying to grow another cat there. I thought they could drain it. That's what I was hoping for, but they can't drain it. He tried. He put a needle in it and didn't even flinch, he said. And there's just nothing coming out, he said. So we just thought it was a cyst with a bunch of pus in it. And he also has a big ear infection. So we got medicine for that. Today they gave us medicine to help him with his ear infection. And the same stuff we put in his ear, we can put on top of his little tumor to help take some of the, like he said, it's almost like it will help to reduce maybe some of the inflammation, but that's about it. He said it won't take the tumor away. The tumor's there to stay. So because we've just learned this all today, and it kind of hit my daughter and I hard because we love Porky. Porky Doodle Noodle is our man, you know, our outdoor man. But we have to be fair with him too, and do what's going to be best for Porky. And if it's not going to be fair to him, you know, life gets tough this winter. He may not make the winter just because of this, and I'm not going to see him suffer. But it's something we might have to deal with. And, you know, you can read between where we're heading. So, but at least we gave him at least another 3 good years here. And, you know, but we'll deal with that later. Right now he's out my door going meow, you know, like he always does. I can hear him. He's meowing. What? I got to feed him again. He just got fed not too long ago. That boy eats. That's one thing about he's got a great appetite. So we know it's not affecting his appetite. So they asked me about that. And he eats wonderfully. So there we go. Now if his eating dropped, that'd be another thing. Okay. I've done my first dose of spackling. Okay, so there it is right there. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to let that sit now until it gets really firm. I always look at over 24 hours before I touch them. I like to go at least, if I can, 48 hours with them. Let that really sit and get firm on there. And then start. I found out that if you sand too quick, it comes off regardless. But at 48 hours, it's so much firmer that a lot of it stays. And it stays in the right places. That's what I'm talking about. You want it to stay where you placed it. And like you can see still, just looking at this doll, there's still a lot of honeycomb, like a lot of pittedness. This doll is pitty. A lot of pits and everything. This one coat is not going to do it. I'm going to have to do a second coat on this doll. So that's the issue when it comes to these dolls, is that you've got to do one coat and accept it. Then do a second coat, accept it. But also learning in between to let it sit for 48 hours. So these, you know, this is when you're restoring a doll. It's not something you're going to do fast. It's about respecting the material that you're using and allowing it to do what it's supposed to do. But and you'll get a better result. You can see right here, there's a part right here where the composition is missing, but we'll build that back up again. I'll keep molding that. I filled up some of this area up in here, but we're going to keep going at it because that's not enough. That's this in here is not enough. We're going to do more, and we'll build it. We'll sand it, then build again. Sand it, build again. I did that with my last doll, with my my Valentine Day baby doll. She had a crack in the back of the head, and that's all I did. I just kept sanding the back and putting more on, sanding it, building it, and building it, and building it. And this stuff works wonderful. I really love spackling, actually a little bit more than Milliput now. This is easier to work with. And I don't want I don't want to sell my restorations out what's easier to work with, but I love the results as well. It's a real combination that you're getting here when it comes to what you're looking for and how to restore. And the spackling works wonderful. So anyways, I hope you like what you see here. And follow along, you'll see what happens to this doll as we move through this here. But oh yeah, she's going to be gorgeous when she's done. And we'll just hang in there. You'll see her transform into this beautiful, wonderful doll. So we're going to work on this head first, then we'll go to the body second. So thanks for joining me, and there's going to be a lot more to come as time goes on here. So, and thank you everybody for commenting about my son helping me on my last doll. He was very happy to help his mama. And it's those type of hands I need every now and again. So nice to have them sitting by. Okay, thanks again for joining me, and we'll be coming back with more wonderful videos. Bye-bye.